What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Pillars of Eternity. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little bit and try and get the hell out of this sanitarium. So apparently there's a guy in here like possessing people and just causing all kinds of problems. I'm worried that if we stray too far here... Yeah, exactly. That's what... Oh, good, they're wicked. That's good. That'll be fun. Oh, no, we're getting pins. Okay, so you go over here. Is that Kana right there? That's Kana. So you come over here. I need you guys to block this hallway and make sure that, like, this doesn't happen right here. There you go. Well done. I don't think they'll be able to hold out against us very long. They're kind of small in stature and not so threatening looking, but I bet we can make this happen. Let's go ahead and put everybody else on the flesh construct here before too much damage is sustained. And so, yeah, as I suspected, the wicks were not actually that difficult. They burned just like the thing that they're named after, with an extra T at the end. I love candles. I'm a sucker for candles. Always have been, always will be. I have candles all over my house. I probably burn them, I'd say easily 5-6 hours a day. I go through a lot of candles. I like candles quite a bit. Apple cinnamon is my favorite. Is that a normal thing? Is that a weird thing for a dude to have, like a favorite candle? I don't know. I feel like that's definitely subject to scrutiny. Like if I was on the Man Show as a guest, I feel like they would question me on that after I admitted it. However, I do enjoy candles a lot. You like turn out all the lights, just leave the candles on while you play Xbox or something? I don't know. It's relaxing. You should try it sometime. I bet you'd be hella relaxed. You'd be like, wow, Splattercat was right. I thought this was going to be lame. But actually, I'm pretty relaxed right now. I'm about ready for nap time. I'm like, yep, nappy nap time. Or clean nap time. I don't know how long it's been since you changed your sheets. I don't know you like that. We should probably level up. So it looks like Malamar McGriddle needs to level. And her skills were going to include a stealth. And so I guess we'll give her some stealth. On this side, I remember Barbaric Yell being one that I had strongly considered. There's Blooded, while endurance below 50%. Probably won't do that one. Brute Force. Hits so hard that ordinary means of defense. Attacks that attack deflection will instead attack fortitude if it was the lower... Oh, okay, so that's kind of nice. That allows her to redirect her attacks to a different lower resistance if she wants to. One stands alone. Barbarian cannot be flanked unless engaged by more than 3 enemies. Imparts an unquenchable lust. That one seems like it'd be pretty good. Imparts an unquenchable bloodlust to the barbarian, increasing his or her speed temporarily in battle once she is personally down at least 2 enemies. So if she gets the killing blow, that one seems like it'd be really, really hard to predict. I'll probably go after Brute Force, because Brute Force actually seems pretty decent. Attacking whatever resistance is lower seems like a really, really good plan. Okay, so there it is. We'll take Brute Force. I don't know how to build a character in this game. Like I said, this is pretty much a blind playthrough for me, so I have no idea what the best choices are. I know I've talked to a couple of people, and I've also read a couple of people's testaments, or I guess testimonies, that there are like things you can do to break your character, and there are things you can do to keep your character nice and squared away. And I guess there's a very, very wide chasm in between those two concepts. However, for right now, I don't know if I want to fight Wicks right now. Yeah, I don't think they are either. Just keep stabbing. You've got knives. You've got a prison shank just like they do. So I figure you probably got a pretty good chance of fighting right here. Except yours is made out of like magic and baby smiles and other stuff. I don't know exactly what your knife's made out of. All I know is that it's magical. This guy has apparently decided he's going to unleash hell on this entire dungeon. What does this guy have? Ooh, a couple of coins. I'll take them. I love coins. Ooh, lockpicks. Hell yeah, we need those. We need those all day, every day. So now we got lockpicks. Can we rest in here? Okay, so we can rest in here, so that actually dispels one of my concerns that was sort of looming over me right now. Why it feels the need to leave right now, I'm not really so sure, but you know what? I've been hearing that whirring sound. I had a friend growing up whose mom had like an antique loom in her living room as like a piece of furniture. What's going on in here? Anything suspect? I'm just going to steal your valuables in the chaos. Don't worry about it. It's just human nature taking over. Looting, pillaging, there's chaos and no authority in place. Therefore, I shall take everything I desire from your facilities. Is there anything up here? Yay! A mace and also 132 pans. Awesome. So now we got ourselves a couple more pans that we can spend on amazing, super awesome sfeff to expand our mind. Let's go back down in here, and I think this is the hallway we actually came in through. Hopefully things didn't get too wild up in here. It definitely sounds like stuff's popping off, though. I'm getting out of here. It's not safe anymore. It was never safe to begin with, man. They've been sawing off giant chunks of your soul like every other day as part of their standard operating procedure. Have you just not noticed? I'd be a little bit worried about it if big pieces of my soul started missing. What in the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. I had things under control until I killed the leaden key spy, at which point he possessed a flesh construct. You finish your explanation, Ethelmore breaks his silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again and could be of real use in our time of need. I fear what the future may hold for this place. I am grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. What of Atso? What part did his experiments play in this catastrophe? Let's see. The leaden key would have found a way to interfere with the sanitarium even without Atso. Your half answer suggests a bias, but it also suggests it's as close to the truth as I'll get from you. Cademan will remain here, but he will be monitored, and under no circumstances will he have access to any equipment. Well, it's true. Like, they were here. I mean, I told the truth right there. I mean, they were messing with all the different experiments and whatnot, leading people on. If it wasn't Cademan, it would have been somebody else. Granted, his experiments are super sketch, but my statement remains true. It's not a half-truth. It's a whole truth. I don't like when people say I gave a half-truth. I'm pretty pleased with my answers. So what do we have right now? Did that complete the quest, or, like, what's going on here? So we went to, I uncovered there his ability. We should... Oh, well, I guess, is it done? Oh, we killed it. Okay. So I guess that quest is all over. The Acolyte showed me a vision of a ancient tower in a derelict district of Defiance Bay. So Undying Heritage would probably be the next one. So let's see if we can find this tower around. See if we can make any progress. If our quests will be towering. Our accomplishments will be towering. There we go. They throw a shadow over all around them. Hatza! Hatza? I don't know if that works. Beg your pardon, I have a message for you. You were summoned to Hadrit House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. Okay, where can I find it? It's just up over there, my lord, the southwest corner of Brackenbury. You'll find the lady upstairs. Will we now? Okay then, well... Wait, southwest? Is this the one? As you near the apparition, you are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides, nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you're about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them into his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
Without any background right now, this is a little bit confusing what I should be picking. The people we intended to convert, they committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. The apparition exhales slowly and its lips press together, a sympathetic rapport in its eyes. It places its hand on your shoulder.
These are the ways of the heathen world.
Surely the gods would do better to destroy us all and start anew.
Perhaps they would. It may come to that one day. This is why we must not fail. The heathens are beyond the gods' reach. They do not know better. We are tasked with delivering them to the gods, so that the gods may heal their souls.
Maybe you should get some gods that have longer arms instead of getting like stubby gods.
I have seen it with my own eyes. You will see it too, if you choose to remain. There is no greater calling than the one we have chosen. Neither words, nor wealth, nor battle will end this suffering. Only the gods. Will you give them that chance?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely. Something warm and soothing, and it's something you know you can never repay. It's hot cocoa, isn't it? As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. The last response echoes in your mind. I will. Let's see if this is the place in Brackenbury that we're supposed to go so that we can get another quest would be my... This place looks way bigger on the inside than it looked on the outside. That's super wild. How did this place get so much bigger? Is it like a magical house of holding? Oh my god. This house looked like a hovel from the outside. Ooh, look, we can steal stuff.
No time.
I love stealing.
I'll see what I can do.
among the things that I enjoy, thieving is one of my favorites. Hooray for thieving! We got some Peridot. Peridot always reminds me of Final Fantasy IX for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like a normal thing, but for some reason, Final Fantasy IX, every time I see the word Peridot, I think of Final Fantasy IX, like instantaneously. No clue why. It's a weird word association. So, Dunreed Agents, Curran. I don't know if we're in the right place, but I figure we'll ask around. They said the lady we needed was upstairs, so maybe I should stop stealing and go upstairs and talk to her first. How's that sound? Lady Webb, we'll see you now. Well... The woman clutches a thick sack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age, a gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink splotches and candle burns and the scars of innumerable slices from the edges of scrolls dot and scrape her hands, or stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
This is exactly what I would picture Allah's mother to be like.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
There's someone I need to find.
Not just any someone, though. Someone in the service of the Leaden Key. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
I ran across a man in one of the ruins. It is important that I find him again. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker, then her face goes still and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground. The pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
She's awakened too, isn't she? She just read my mind. She just did that thing that I do to everybody. She was like, ghosted. And then she ghosted me. How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. Must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me about Theos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggests that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
I have a single mind, and I seem to get by okay. What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you.
So are you like Scotland Yard or like MI6? What are you guys?
Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well. I'm not going to turn down a powerful... This lady seems like she's got riders with her, and so I figure, turning down the assistance of a powerful organization that seems to be more informed than I am, probably not a good plan at this point.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
How do you know so much about Theos?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
What else is there to know about the Leaden Key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know, if you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal.
Either that or dedicated. I mean, you could call it gullibility, I suppose, but if you really look at the mindset of an individual who's willing to be a part of an organization like that, they must either have tremendous dedication or gullible. I mean, you gotta bring the other half in right there.
Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
Apparently we can give her information about Leaden Key. Let's go for it.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Theos in Brackenbury sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale.
So what you're saying is this all has weight in the world.
If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That's it. All right.
Try your best not to die out there.
Yeah, well, you know, live it day by day. Doing what I can. That's kind of the point of life, isn't it, though? Seems like very general purpose advice, and they're always giving it in video games. Every other time they're like, don't die out there. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not trying to. It's not my goal. Not the thing that I am kicking for right now. Definitely trying to keep the old heart beating as much as possible. Seems to be the kind of prime directive of all things that live, right? Everything tries to run away instead of die. Alright, so what we need to do now... Let's take a look here. We were looking for a tower, or we can go to Deerford Village. I'm interested in getting out of the city for a little while. I think that going to Deerford sounds like a decent plan. Sounds like the sort of thing that I could get behind. So I don't know exactly where Deerford is, but we should probably... What is this right here? It's got a big gangster-ass dude out in front with a bowl and a sword. He's like, "Bring forth my cereal, for I have slain the dragon!" That's how I celebrate dragon slayings, with cereal. It's delicious. Who doesn't like cereal? Cereal is delightful. It is one of the greatest things ever. Domanial Doorman.
Greetings.
I don't recognize you. What business do you have with House Demonel? I'm just here to loot the place and kill anybody in my way. And tell me about House Demonel. It's an old and respected family. Much of Defiance Bay's prosperity is due to the Demonel business activities. Do you have any further business? I guess not. These are one of those people that you gotta have the proper retainers to let you in. You gotta know folks. You gotta know folks who know folks. Okay, well that explains the super awesome statue out in front of their house. We came in from that direction. Is there any other way that we can leave from here? Like to the left right here? Is there... Ah, there is. So does this take me anywhere important? We're looking for a tower, which looks like it's in Andra's gift if you see it right there. We could either go to Deerford or we can go to Andra's. We could go back to Kaanua as well, although I don't really see the point. We also needed to go to Radrick's Hold or something like that to help out with a deer, but I don't remember. We'll take a look at it in a little while. I'll have a look at the quest log. Let's go here and we'll take a look at this tower and see what we can accomplish there. Okay, so aside from people walking around quickly, I think we're in fairly decent shape. A local lad is reported missing. Interesting. Okay, so it sounds like there might be some kind of cool quest for us to take part in out here. If there's an inn around, that would be really, really fantastic because I'd love to rest. Our long-term HP is looking a little bit iffy right now. See, we're out in the hood right now, aren't we? This is like the G'd up side of town. Oh, look, it's the same statue. A sailor over there getting drunk and just hanging out with some bottles. Like, yup, I drunk all these myself. Impressed yet? Yeah, I figured. Well, doesn't appear to be a tavern around anywhere. Oh, there's some thugs. What's up, other thugs? You guys just chilling, hanging out outside? I got you. What's up, Bragan? Shove off. We've got nothing to talk about. Not a conversationalist, then. More on the thuggish, ruggish end of the spectrum. These people are just fill-ins. Okay. Note that I said fill-ins, not villains. If they were fill-ins for villains, I feel like we probably have a reason to be up in there and kill them all, but still. Fill-in, villain, they sound very similar when I say them. Just try to clarify. Make sure that we're all on the same page because the book is moving along sweetly. This house looks like it's come across a major problem. This area like flood recently, or what happened out here?
A dozen Adiran ships were shattered against these levees during the War of Defiance. Best to heed the astrologers, I find, where tides are concerned.
Place gets my blood beating in all the right places.
Alright, that was more information than I needed, but, you know, what you do with your time while you're running around. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do this. We'll break it off early right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Pillars of Eternity. I will see you on the next episode. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back. I'm going to try and find an inn and get myself... The angry woman clenches her jaw and stares out towards the harbor with glimmering golden eyes. Eventually sensing your presence, she turns her feathered head towards you. Want to run it down on the Slugvalian Trading Company? If you have more than half a brain, you should really do something with it. She clenches her jaw and continues quietly. As long as you're willing to clean up a few bloodstains. The woman smiles faintly at you before turning her attention back to the warehouse. She grimaces, gives you a slight nod, and walks off. Anyways, I'm going to go rest. We'll come back after that, and we'll do the tower. Hi to everybody.